Morning, everybody. How we doing? Sam here, United People's TV. I've just realised it's Friday the 13th. The superstitious among you. I was born on the 13th. It wasn't a Friday, though. But look, good morning to everyone. I'm a little bit tired today. I went to a gig last night in London. I didn't get in till 2 a.m. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. But look, we're here to speak about the takeover after. Is it an update? Is it just another version of what we heard before? We can decide that in the comments as a community. I'm going to run through Bloomberg's article from yesterday, suggesting that Jim Ratcliffe is leading the race to buy Manchester United from the Glazers. Going to run through the article. Mike Keegan saying that the Qatari talks are still continuing. So, look, I'll run through the whole thing and you can let me know what you think in the comments. Yesterday, I was speaking about the sort of nonsense that was coming out around Qatar yesterday. And I said, look, it's the international break. It's like rinse and repeat, right? This may well fall into the same rinse and repeat category. But this is coming from Bloomberg. And I'm pretty sure, nobody can be certain about anything to do with this takeover. But I'm pretty sure that when we do finally get an announcement on it, it's going to come from the business side of things rather than like the football journalists that we know and we trust. Anyway, we're going to run through, speak about that, speak about David Beckham's interview that he gave, speaking about his involvement in any sort of Qatari bid, what he thinks on the takeover. Going to pull that video up on here. And it's Friday. All right. So you can let me know what you think in the comments. Who's down here from the member gang? Let's have a look. We've got Josh, Philip, good morning to you. Tyler, Kenny, Gren, Rego, Miles, you're there as well. We've got Saeed, Matt Frost watching on Facebook. How you doing, mate? Bully, Carl, you're there. Red, we've got Spence, Ant, you're there. Nice to see you, buddy. Josh, Ishak, who's here on Facebook? Gavin Thompson, good morning to you. Ramalingam, good morning to you. We've got Jordan, good morning to you. Hey, there's plenty of you here. Let's get into it. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's get into it. It's another day and another day where VAR, you just look at VAR and it's like, oh, what is the point of you? Like, what are you doing? Like, has anybody, I'm sure you have, that free kick that McTominay scored yesterday was just outrageous. Properly outrageous. Look at the ball. The ball was like 3 yards, well, now 3-4 yards off the byline. And McTominay just absolutely fizzed one in. Ridiculous. In off the post. No, I think, if I'm correct, I think it was ruled out for offside. But even then, you look at it, you're like, is it? There's so much about modern football I do not like. Really, really do not like. And VAR is absolutely at the core of it. I just do not see how it's benefiting the game. It was supposed to be, you go back to it again, like time and time again. The only time I've ever seen it work properly, I think, was at a World Cup when it was like fully automated. You got the visualizations, the computer screens. My God. Hey, look, for this McTominay with Scotland is a different beast. And we saw that at Manchester United when he came off the bench against Brentford. But yeah, man, what a hit that was. And it's so ridiculous that that got ruled out. Look at that. It's Friday and everyone's getting vibey. The Crown, you've gifted 5 memberships, and the Bully, you've gifted the Bully. Well, you're the Bully now, apparently. You've just gifted 1 membership. Let's get a duo gong there. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah. Love this community. Hate so much about modern football. Interestingly enough, I thought it was interesting. You might not. McTominay was speaking, I think it was before the game, after the game, I don't actually know, about his position. Because at Manchester United, look, McTominay got turned into a defensive midfielder by Mourinho because he looked at him and went, right, so you're 6 foot out, 6 foot, right, okay, 6'3", 2, don't know. He's big. You're athletic, you're powerful. Therefore, you should be a defensive midfielder. Like, McTominay, Mourinho just profiled his physical attributes and said, right, okay, you can be my new Matic. And it's so completely wrong. And as is anybody saying that Scott McTominay was a striker. And I think that's why I found it interesting. He's like, I wasn't a striker. I played there a couple of times under Warren Joyce. Remember Warren Joyce? Geez, that's kicking it back. He's always been a midfielder, and he profiles himself right there as a number 8. Scott McTominay is a number 8. Scott McTominay has never been a number 6, which is why I found the Bayern Munich links really strange. Really strange. Because they were looking at Paulinho, and then McTominay, I don't know whether it was properly was an option or whether it was just a little bit of paper noise. Maybe it was just that. But the idea of Bayern Munich signing him as a number 6 is so far wrong. He's a number 8. And a very, well, a very good one when it comes to his goal threat. Bayern Munich now getting linked with Calvin Phillips. I imagine they'll go back after Paulinho, but he's just signed a new contract, isn't he? So he will not cost the 60 million that they had agreed. Oh, man, look at that. Couple more gifts there from Gungshi and Spence. Tell you what, I'm going to join in the hype. Why not? It's Friday. Let's get vibey. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Pardon me. Do that there. Do that there. I'm going to get 5 memberships as well. Yeah. Come on. Everyone gets involved. Right. Let's do one gong for everyone together. Team gong. Yeah. Right. But let's get into the main. Actually, no, there's a couple more things I want to speak about. I found this quite interesting. Again, you might not find it interesting. But 1 second there. Why is that stuck on screen? Why is that stuck on screen? Good. Okay. Right. Russia beat Cameroon in a friendly, and Onana sat on the bench. So he went there for international duty, but he didn't actually play. Don't know whether that's an indicator for anything. I just found that a little bit interesting. Not massively interesting, just a little bit. But I'll tell you what, I think actually there's a super chat here before I move on to this talking point. I wouldn't say I'm massively worried about it, but I'm a little bit concerned. David, how you doing, buddy? Saying, good morning, Sam. Know how you feel. I was out late too. Hope Scott McTominay can kick on after the Brentford game. McTominay, look, the truth be told, right, about McTominay. Let's go back here. He is a number 8. That is his position. And he won't be getting in the starting 11 ahead of Bruno Fernandes or Mason Mount inside those roles. However, he can and should be. He can and should be used as a game-changing substitute. And that I go back to it, and everybody who follows the channel knows I've said this all the time. Like McTominay was quite far down my list of players who I thought needed to be moved on this summer. And I'm probably it's just ridiculous how that got ruled out. That's what I think anyway. Anyway, I want to talk about this. Okay, this is only a whisper coming from the Netherlands, but I thought this was ever so slightly concerning. You know what's going on? Well, maybe you don't. Ajax are in dire straits right now. Let's put up the Eredivisie table. Any Ajax fans, if you're tuning in, unlucky. Jeez. Right, let's pull this up. You'll be shocked if you don't know this. Right, let's pull this up on there. Ajax's season so far. This is the Eredivisie table. All right. Ajax are right down there. 2 points off the bottom of the Eredivisie. 6 games played, only 1 win, 2 draws, and 3 defeats. They are how many points off top? 24 points on top. They are 19 points. They've only played 6 games, actually. I didn't quite realize that. But still. This is why I've got this photo up here. And I'm not talking about Ten Hag. Louis van Gaal has been brought in, I think, in a sort of like an advisory sort of role to try and help Ajax through the situation. Mike Vavage, we all remember him. I think is he chief reporter for I think he's chief reporter for The Telegraph. Anyway, this is what's being reported in here. That I think look, there any Ajax fans watching, you can let me know. Maybe trying to get AZ Alkmaar's manager. But down here is where this is mentioned. Mitchell van der Gag being a plan B. Now, I don't know whether this is going to go anywhere, all right? At all. I'm just saying that this is whispers at this moment in time. But it might be something to watch out for. Because if Ajax came and offered Van der Gag or Van der Gag, don't know. If they offered him the job, would he consider it? I mean, I think he would definitely consider it, but that would be a huge blow. I don't personally. You type yes or no in the comments. If Ajax came and offered him the job, do you think that he would consider it? Do you think that he would leave Erik ten Hag? Type yes or no in the comments. I don't know. I don't think Erik ten Hag would want him to leave or let him leave, but I think if he's offered the job, it would be a concern. Massively split in the comments down there. Quite, I say, massively split. Judging, there's a lot of yeses and a lot of nos down there. I wouldn't be able to say it with massive confidence that he would stay. I like to think that he would stay. You know, he's worked with Erik ten Hag. He knows that he's a cornerstone. He's massively important behind the scenes of Manchester United. I think it's a possibility. I really think it is. Because if Ajax come calling and offer him the main job, I don't know. Let's find out. All right, let's find out. But as I said, I thought it was something worth discussing. Kez, you've just gifted 5 memberships. Jeez. Don't know why I'm singing. No idea why I'm singing. But yeah, that's a massively split chat down there. So many think yes, and so many think no. I don't know. I hope not. Let's just hope that it doesn't come to that point. All right. Spent, I think, if I remember that correctly, you're right there. I believe he was in the running and he said no because he was coming over. Maybe that conversation changes. Maybe it's a little bit further down the line. I don't know. Ricky, I haven't finished the Beckham documentary yet. I'm still only 2 episodes in, but it's Friday. I might watch a new Mission Impossible tonight, actually. Anybody got any Friday films? Let me know in the comments. Right then, let's go on and let's have the conversation. The headline of the show. The main event. The takeover. Or the lack of, right? Yesterday, I was speaking about the sort of the nonsense and the hot air. We were speaking about Alan Brazil and the blood trying to escape from his face. And we were speaking about the takeover stuff. And it just feels like it's international break. People running out of things to say. But this is coming from Bloomberg, and that's why I'm going to have a conversation about it. All right. This is what they reported yesterday, that Jim Ratcliffe is leading the race. And interestingly enough, they've actually put leading the race to invest in Manchester United. That is a slightly different take and a slightly different angle of the takeover, right? Rather than leading the race to take over Manchester United, it's now leading the race to invest in Manchester United. Let's run through what this article suggests, all right? Ratcliffe could make an offer for some of the shares. People always seem to get offended by this whenever a journalist has sources and they don't name the sources. And that's how good journalism works. It really is. People have sources that are close to said information that they can trust because they know their sources, and you just have to trust them. But I'm pretty convinced, as I said, that hopefully once this is all said and done, I think the news is going to break from the business side, not from the football journalism side. So that's why I'm interested, and I will always follow what Bloomberg have to say. But the suggestion here continues that minority offer from Ratcliffe, the 25% offer to buy an equal number of shares from all the Glazers and the New York Stock Exchange, that is the bid that currently go down there, right? I don't know whether this is completely true or not, but look, the Glazer family is closer than ever to finding a palatable deal. The situation remains fluid, and the Qatari group could still increase the bid. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we've already discussed this. You've got Mike Keegan, who of course has been Mike Keegan led from the very beginning with the Qatari takeover bid. I remember doing the videos on this. Jeez, you've really kind of got to go back in your mind. It was that long ago. I remember covering the concept of a Qatari involvement in Manchester United, because at that point it was only about minority investment, and I was massively, completely against it. And then that's when Mike Keegan came forward and said, no, actually, there's talk inside the Qatari circles that it could be a full takeover offers. And that's when the Qatari and the Sheikh Jassim stuff started from. It was Mike Keegan. He's saying that the talks are continuing. You've got Bloomberg saying he's leading the race. I'm going to go down. I'm going to read a few of your comments. Let's see what you're saying. SS saying not a minority stake. Of course, the conversation, the concept, I suppose, is that Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos take a minority stake with an intention of then buying Manchester United overall. But there is absolutely no guarantee that that would ever happen, because, of course, the Glazers would have to agree to sell more of their stake for that to happen. And there is every chance that Ratcliffe could come in, like hypothetically, Ratcliffe could come in. And I've told you this, and it's completely true. If Ratcliffe does win with this structure of an offer, and, for example, he buys 25% of Manchester United and it's for $1.5 billion, which, of course, would then value Manchester United at $6 billion, which is what the Glazers have been wanting this whole time. If he does buy it and it's 1.5 billion, that 1.5 billion is just the price of it, right? That means he owns 25%. That changes nothing in terms of the debt of the club. That changes nothing in terms of investment into the club. It would leave us in exactly the same position as we are now. It's just that Jim Ratcliffe would then be a minority owner of Manchester United. Somebody would still have to front the cash. We'd still need investment. And whether that may well come from Ineos, it would have to be on top of buying the club for 1.2, 1.5 billion, because the Glazers are not going to take that 1.5 billion and go, you know what? I'm investing this into Manchester United because it's their money. They don't invest their money in our football club. They never have. They never will. That's the thing that's the thing I hate the most about this concept of a minority deal, because I don't think it changes anything, and it also leaves the Glazers in control. Which, yeah, don't want to speak about that. What's this next point here? That one there, yeah. And I said this as well. I said this as soon as the stories came out about this idea of a minority takeover. Because throughout this whole process, it's been Joel and Avram who have been digging their heels in, because they didn't want to concede control of Manchester United unless a, quite frankly, ridiculous offer came in, because Manchester United is not worth 6 billion. All right. So Joel and Avram have been digging their heels in. This way, this concept, this bid, where Jim Ratcliffe buys 25%, and the Glazers do stay in control, Joel and Avram would absolutely love, but the other Glazers surely will be looking at it going, well, I sod that. We want to take the Qatari offer. We're going to get like 800 mil right now. We can cash out. So for me, it just feels like it's the same thing, but from a different angle. Instead of it being Joel and Avram digging their heels in, it's now the other four digging their heels in. It's just... look, there's a couple of super chats here. Let me read these out, and then I'm going to read a few of your comments out. All right. I know that so many of you are exhausted on this. Trust me, I am. I really, really am. But it's the future of our club. What happens here will shape Manchester United. Well, it will shape our future. It's such a pivotal moment. because we are in the shadows. And just the way everything is going, I'm not saying it's now or never, right? Because it's not as if Manchester United would just disappear into the ether. But we've already got some serious catching up to do. And we already need some serious investment. So if it's not now, then the process of recovery is going to become a lot longer than it currently is. A couple of super chats there. The Crown is saying, basically with or without him, we are screwed in every way possible. There's a big part of me that will be massively upset to see United become the latest state-owned club. And it won't be a direct state ownership in the same way that it is with PSG, in the same way that it is with Newcastle, in the same way that it is with City. And I understand that there are differences, but I've never wanted Manchester United to go down that route. But we're staring down the barrel of that, or maybe the Glazers staying on and that can't happen. That cannot happen. It's such a bad position that United fans have been put in, man. Really, really is. And this is reminding me about all the coverage we've done, all the debates that we've done, all the arguments that we've all had about who's right and who's wrong. It's crazy. Alex, you're saying, feels like another Glazers PR cycle. Rinse and repeat. Why would 4 other siblings agree to a ladder bid? I don't think so. I don't think so, but we'll find out, I suppose. Callum is saying it changes nothing in the short term. If there are no other options, is him slowly taking over not better than no one taking over at all? I really don't want it that way, but what if it's no alternative? Like, this might be a situation where Manchester United are staring down. It's like, which version of shit do you want? Is it this one or is it that one? It's like there's no, and everyone always uses that phrase that I coined at the start, that Jim Ratcliffe was the Disney owner. If Jim Ratcliffe was a Disney owner, I don't know what Disney film he'd be, but he'd be garbage. Of course, opinions are allowed to change, all right? Opinions are allowed to change over time when you are presented with new evidence. It's called critical thinking. It's really important, actually. People see it as like, flip-flop this and flip-flop that. And no, if your position on something, can be anything in life, is in one place, and then over time, evidence builds, and you realize that, actually, what I thought before, it's not necessarily the right thing now. Now that I know all these facts that I didn't know before. And that's why my opinion has changed on Ratcliffe, because so much evidence has provided itself. And yeah, he's far from the 1 second there. You're getting blocked. Thank you. User was blocked. See you later. Couple of super chats here. Let me read these out. Ricky, you're saying, I don't see the benefit to Jim Ratcliffe. He would still have no say in running the club. No. And again, it's a wild concept. What? Okay, so Ineos are going to go in. It depends if there's any sort of written legal guarantees that they can get the Glazers to sign. Because why on earth would Ineos go in there, buy 25% of Manchester United, and the Glazers would still be in control of the club? And any investment that goes in, the Glazers would still be in control of it. Because the Glazers aren't going to put the money in. So what? Ineos would then be expected to buy 25% of the club, leave the Glazers in control, then give them billions to spend, not really be in control of where those billions get spent. I mean, it's laughable. It really is. Yeah, but according to Bloomberg, currently Ineos, it feels like Ineos and Jim Ratcliffe are finding any way in the back door. Like just a little slither of light. They don't really care how they get in there as long as they get in there. They must have confidence that they can do a staggered takeover. I mean, I wouldn't trust the Glazers, that's for sure. Buddy's saying you want the Rats gone altogether. So do I, man. Geez, so do I. Crown, you saying, with all due respect, I know you're not comfortable with state ownership, but they bring massive results. I don't think there is anybody that would disagree with the fact that they bring results. All right. You look at what Saudi Arabia now going for the World Cup bid in 2034, and obviously they'll get it. So now, over the next was it 9 years? 9 years. They're just going to be, was it 11 years? 11 years, 2020. That's how it works, 11 years. They're just going to be pumping money. This Newcastle's going to be their toy and get that shining and get that winning everything. The results, of course, will come. But it's just, I don't want to get into these arguments again, man. I really don't. There will be a big part of me that despises the fact that Manchester United may well become the latest club to have links with a state. I know they're going to structure it. I know the 9-2 if the Qatari bid is successful. But then on the other hand, I'm now staring at the Glazers somehow maybe keeping their claws in Manchester United. And I'm like, well, that can't happen. So then I'm like, well, it's such a crap situation. And I will repeat that again and again and again. There is not a good scenario here for Manchester United. But the only scenario that cannot exist is our current one. And that's something that every United fan will unanimously agree. Our football club is in need of a takeover. And I'll tell you what, that is the perfect time for me to pull this clip up. This is going to be a couple of minutes, and it's David Beckham. It's his interview that he gave speaking about his involvement in a Qatari bid and about just the whole process and the takeover and everything in between. I hope this doesn't get shut down by copyright. It may well do, and if it does, I'll just cut the clip out. But this is David Beckham speaking on CNBC about the takeover.
At the moment, there's been no discussion of that, but everybody knows that I'm a Manchester United fan, and I've been very vocal about the situation that is happening at Manchester United, and that's been happening for a number of years. You know, obviously, I grew up at Manchester United from a very young age with a lot of stability. You know, the same manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, and then the same owners. Now, obviously, over the years, Manchester United will always be Manchester United. They'll always be one of the biggest clubs in the world. Now we need to get back to that for the fans, for the players, for the coaching staff, for the manager, because at the moment there's no stability, and we need to get the talk back on the field rather than off the field.
You want to see it sold?
I want to see an ownership group that will take over, that actually will now take it back to what it should be. You know, I'm not saying the past owners have done a bad job, because we've still been very successful on the field and off the field. But for me, it's the right time for somebody else to take over.
But so is it not true that you're part of the Qatari deal somehow?
At the moment, there's been no discussion with that. You know, obviously, I've had a long-standing relationship with Qatar because of my involvement with PSG when I played there and we won the championship. So obviously, there's going to be, you know, some connection there, and people talking about my involvement in Manchester, because you put the two together, myself, Manchester United plus PSG. And, you know, there's a connection. So people will obviously be talking about that, but there's been no discussion at the moment.
All right, that's some news. How likely do you think a deal is, and for them to get it?
I think, you know, something's going to happen. I think there will be a takeover. I think it's the right time. You know, I think we all have our own opinions on who we feel that should take over. But in my opinion, it's whoever cares about the club the most and that is going to take it back to where it should be.
So that was Beckham's interview. So, as I said, speaking about his involvement in any sort of Qatari bid. And I think it was always pretty, well, I don't know, felt like it to me, pretty inevitable that Beckham would get linked to the Qatari bid in some way, shape or form. I think he was linked right at the very beginning, wasn't he? When the 9-2 Foundation first came out. Beckham would be obviously a very smart ploy by Sheikh Jassim and the 9-2 Foundation to get him involved in some sort of ambassadorial role, because of course he owns Inter Miami and dude's busy running a football club. He can't exactly come and run Manchester United, and he wouldn't be. It would just be Beckham would be linked in some way, shape or form. And I'd love that. I'll be honest. I think, Gavin, you're going down there. He's sounding like a politician. David Beckham is a very astute businessman. He always has been, right from the very beginning of being a kid, being a young lad, and just the way that he grew up. And Beckham was the first, it wasn't the first, rock star of football. That's probably George Best. but certainly one of them on things changed because of Beckham, like footballers and how they were perceived, and certainly in the press as well. I'd love Beckham to be involved in Manchester United. I've got absolutely nothing but love for David Beckham as a footballer at United. Because I was a kid when it was Beckham. It was I was so lucky. Honestly, if you're a kid now and you're a United fan, I feel sorry for you. Like, because you got no ammunition at school, man. You must just be getting like every argument when it comes to football. You're like, oh, can we just talk about, I don't know, something else? EastEnders, TV. What's your favorite series? I always talk about that. There is no there is no ammunition for these kids at school anymore. I really feel sorry for them. When I was at school, it was just like you couldn't lose an argument when speaking about United. It was great. But Beckham, man, I loved it. Why are so many people speaking about pizza and pineapple in the comments? Do I like it? I'd never asked for it. But if there's a pizza that's got pineapple on it, I'll eat it. You know what's worse on pizza, right? It's tuna. Anybody, just get out. Just get out. How you can make pizza bad? Yeah, you can put tuna on it. All right, that's the one that you deserve criticism for. That's disgusting. Hey, look, man, I love Beckham, and if he can get involved, let's find out. That, truth be told, the way that I'm looking at this, the way that I'm looking at this story is that it feels like the latest edition of the posturing game. I've got no doubt that Abraham and Joel will be rubbing their hands together at the thought of a minority takeover. But if we know the Glazer family, we know full well that they are just not Did I imagine like a Christmas dinner with the Glazer family? Well, that would never happen. Well, that would be a barrel of laughs, wouldn't it? Be like that episode of The Bear. Oh, man, I wish I could. Type this in the comments, right? If you could wipe your memory of a series that you've watched so you could watch it again for the first time and enjoy it all again, what series would you choose? It's a good question. That's the sort of question that you'd ask at, like, I don't know, sort of question you'd ask at a party. It's like 2 a.m. and you're thinking about random things to chat shit about. Oh, look at that, man. Calvin, my man. Thank you so much. Calvin's just gifted 5 memberships. That was rubbish. Right. Let's have a little Friday chat. Someone saying Game of Thrones? Nah, man. Nah. Man, the first like 5 seasons? 5 seasons. Something like that. Trying to think of when it started to go a bit weird. Started to go a bit weird when Aya was like training with the Many-Faced God. I think it was that season. It started to, some bits I was like, oh. What else are you saying down there? Homeland or Breaking Bad? Man, I loved Homeland. I loved Homeland. What would I rate? I think I'll probably rate Breaking Bad above Homeland, though. Anybody watch Better Call Saul? Oh, magnificent. I mean, I know what mine is. It would easily be Sopranos or Ozark. Oh, Ozark is a shout. Ozark is a shout. Stu, can somebody ban Stu for saying Friends is still as funny nowadays as it was 20 years ago? Spoiler alert. It never really was funny. That's got to be one of the most overrated shows in the entire world. Friends just, it's, I have a personal disdain for canned laughter. You know, it's like an American sitcom thing, isn't it? It's not always bad. Just watch Home Improvement. That was good fun. But yeah, Sopranos for me would easily be the one that I would rewatch. But I did love Ozark. Ozark was absolutely fantastic. Oh, Jonathan. Oh no, you might have done it there. You might have caught me out. Oh, season 1 of True Detective. Right, we're gonna have to end the stream now. I'm gonna have to go and watch it immediately. Damn. Season 1. If any of you have not watched the first season of True Detective, please go and watch it. Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. Elite TV. And if you haven't watched The Bear, go and watch that as well. 2 fantastic recommendations. Don't say you don't get anything on here. Sometimes you do. A little bit of separate news. And it's Friday show, right? Kind of a little bit different. You can fire in your questions, fire in your comments. Have I watched White Collar? No, I've not seen that. But look, nice little bit of news here. Rasmus Højlund getting nominated for the European Golden Boy. Absolutely. Congratulations to him. And I did a little video on Højlund yesterday, a little short video. I think I kind of see Højlund now as I don't know, he's like kind of the embodiment of where I want Manchester United to go towards, in terms of, first of all, how good he is. That's a good plus. But just everything about him, like just signing a young player like that, taking a little bit of a gamble, but the gamble can pay off if you do your work properly. And yeah, man, it's just everything about Højlund I really, really am enjoying. Really am. Next season 1 of the English Premier League. That would be a good season. That would be very good. Jibak, thank you so much, dude. Look, it's Friday. Everyone's so generous in this community. Update on the studio. It's I'm still trying to get it started again. Day 1 of I've been planning on doing this studio for I swear on my life, months. Plan on doing it for months. Finally started, and then my dad gets COVID the day after. So fingers crossed. The plan is to get it done before football is back next weekend. What else are you saying down there? Dexter. Anybody watch Lost? Man, I'm so glad I never watched Lost, and I'm so glad I never watched Walking Dead. Oh, so it's ended with some more zombies. Oh, what's happening? Oh, okay. That's some more zombies. Okay. Man, I like a zombie hero there, but man, that was terrible. Hey, wow, jeez, man. Gungshi and Alex again. Let's whip up the map. Whip out the map. Let's get the map up. I'm gonna go for one big one. But yeah, if anybody watched Lost, I feel sorry for you, because you must have been fuming at the end of that. Removing my like for your disrespect towards friends. My bad. But look, the map's here. All right. I feel you're right. I've not done a quiz for a while. I need to bring those bad boys back. Map's here, right? So let me know where you're watching from, town and your country, and I'll see if I can get you added onto the map. Let's see where last few countries we've had: Austria, Russia, Spain, USA, UK, Germany, Eswatini, Slovenia, Denmark, Bosnia, South Africa, Nigeria, Myanmar. Oh God. Incredible. I think have we already got you on the map, Marin? I'm not sure. We're going to get you on the map anyway. Sukieva? I'm going to go Sukieva. Right, Romania. Let's get that on the map. Oh, there you go. Easy. Got that straight away. Romania's on the map. What else we got down here? I have watched The Last of Us. I did enjoy that. Gary, I'm pretty sure. Have we got Vancouver on the map? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. Vancouver's. So let's read some more out. Nairobi, Kenya. Already got that on the map. Dan, you're watching from Kamata in Japan. Wicked. Don't think we've got Kamata on the map. Kamata. That place? It's not coming up. Oh, there it is. It's 2 M's. See, you sold me up the river there. Right, that's on the map. Let's go one more. Salah, you're watching from Giza in Egypt. I don't think. Let's have a look. We do. Someone's watching from Cairo, but it's only our second one from Egypt. Welcome aboard, Salah. Watching on Facebook from Giza. That's 3 on the map there. Let's wrap that one up there, or we could go all day long. Actually, no, I'm getting that one on the map because I've been there. Koh Samui in Thailand. I did diving there. I was really enjoying that. I did like a 4-day course, and then 2 idiots came and ruined the last day, where we went down. I think you go down to, well, you're not in Koh Samui Hospital. You could be the provincial court. Anyway, yeah, I was in Koh Samui, did the diving, went down to 15 meters, I think it is, and then some guy, he said, "Look, there's only one fish you don't swim towards, called the triggerfish. Okay, the only thing you do is don't swim towards the triggerfish because they're defensive. They'll protect themselves." Well, what did they do? They swam towards the triggerfish, got bitten. Well, it wasn't like a crazy bite, like blood everywhere. Got bitten, panicked, bit through his CBD, which is where the air comes from, burst the pipe, cracked himself. Maybe not literally. Might have done, not sure. And then from the bottom, 15 meters, inflated his wasn't life jacket, just inflated his suit and went flying straight up. You're not supposed to do that, all right? You're supposed to go up and down really slowly, pressurize yourself. So he got decompression sickness, and we had to get the whole bloody dive cancelled. So whoever you are, don't like you. But look, I might be here tomorrow morning, depending on what happens. We'll see. I enjoy doing these live shows. I always do. But that is it for the week. The international weeks, man, they are a drag. 1 in September, 1 in October, and we're halfway through it now, and 1 in November. There's another one coming. I know. But look, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all, like Alex and Gungshi and Jibak and Calvin and anybody else who gifted memberships. You're all legends. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep this as the live studio setup now. I enjoy it. It's old school. Takes it back to the origins of United People's TV. So big up to all of you. Have a cracking weekend. I'll be back soon. I'll be here at lunchtime today. Not sure what the video is. We'll see. Take it easy.